Okay, so while all your friends are at the mall or playing video games, you're spending Saturday afternoons at a nursing home, pushing a bingo cart, delivering mail, reading to people who just want someone to listen. And you start hearing these stories. Mr. Hughes grew tomatoes the size of softballs. Mrs. Diane met her husband at a county fair and danced under string lights to old jazz. These aren't just memories, they're whole movies, and nobody's listening. Then you meet Miss Eleanor. She makes throw pillows, but not boring ones. Pillows with flowers, stripes, funny sayings, cats wearing sunglasses. Every pillow has personality. And one day she asks, "You want to learn how to make one?" So you sit with her, sewing, laughing, stitching little pieces of art. And you make a pillow with a big sunflower on it, inspired by Mr. Hughes and his garden stories. You bring it to the common room and 5 people ask if they can buy one. Wait, people want to pay you for these? So you go home and think, if I'm going to do this, I need a name, a brand, something that means something. And you land on Hello Pellos, because every pillow should feel like a hug, like someone saying, "Hey, I see you. You matter." You don't just sell pillows, you sell stories. Every design is inspired by a resident's memory. Front porches, summer fairs, ocean days, first dances, and with every pillow, a little card that says exactly where the inspiration came from. Now families are ordering them as gifts. Your Etsy shop is blowing up. Word of mouth is spreading. Because people don't just want products, they want to feel something. And you figured out how to stitch kindness into every seam. That's my guest today, Haisley, founder of Hello Pellos. And she's about to teach you that the best businesses don't come from your hands. They come from your heart. And when you lead with care, the money follows. This is Tallie Talks. I'm Tallie Pennysworth. And you're about to learn that turning stories into stitches isn't just beautiful, it's profitable. Let's go.
She's got a mind, she's got a spark, lighting up dreams from dawn to dark. Tallie Talks, yeah, she's the voice, asking the questions, making the choice. Young hustlers rising, stories to tell, big ideas where passions dwell. Pull up a chair, grab your seat, let's talk the hustle, let's feel the beat. Tallie Talks, yeah, Tallie Talks, turning whispers into walks, dreaming big, take the shot. This is the place where dreams get called. Tallie Talks, oh, Tallie Talks, Tallie Talks, ooh, yeah.
What's up, my beautiful future moneymakers? Welcome back to Tallie Talks, the podcast where kid entrepreneurs spill their secrets, share their stories, and prove that you don't need a Harvard degree to build something awesome. You just need hustle, heart, and maybe a really good idea. I'm your host, Tallie Pennysworth, and today? Oh man, today's guest is special. Her name is Haisley, and she didn't start her business at a school science fair or by selling lemonade on her street corner. Nope, she started it in a nursing home, with a sewing machine, and a resident named Ms. Eleanor, who made pillows with cats wearing sunglasses on them. Yeah, you heard that right. Her brand is called Hello Pellos. And it's not just about making cute throw pillows. It's about making people feel seen. It's about turning stories into stitches. And honestly, it's one of the coolest origin stories I've heard in a while. So buckle up, grab your notebooks, and let's get into it. Haisley, welcome to the show.
Hey, Tallie, thanks for having me. I'm so pumped to be here.
Okay, so I gotta start with this. Most kids your age are like gaming or hanging at the mall. You were voluntarily going to a nursing home every week. What was that like?
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of random, but honestly, it was my favorite part of the week. I went with my grandma. She's been volunteering there forever. At first, I was just tagging along, helping with little stuff, reading to residents, pushing the bingo cart, delivering mail. But then I started talking to people, like really talking, and they had the best stories.
Okay, hold up. What kind of stories are we talking about here?
Oh man, everything. One guy, Mr. Hughes, told me about how he used to grow tomatoes the size of softballs. Another woman, Mrs. Diane, told me about her first dance. She met her husband at a county fair and they danced under string lights to some old jazz song. These weren't just stories. They were like whole movies. And I realized a lot of these people just wanted someone to listen.
Dude, that's deep. And also kind of brilliant, and because most people don't think about loneliness as a real problem, especially for older folks. But you saw it.
Exactly. And the staff noticed too. They started asking me to do more stuff, deliver snacks, water plants, write cards, sit with people who didn't get visitors, and they started paying me for it. Not a ton, but enough to make me feel like what I was doing actually mattered.
Wait. So you basically stumbled into your first paid gig just by being a good human? That's the ultimate side hustle origin story.
I guess so. I didn't even think of it that way at the time. I just liked being there.
Okay, so let's talk about Miss Eleanor, because this is where things get really good. Tell me about her.
Oh my gosh, Ms. Eleanor is a legend. She made these handmade throw pillows, and not boring ones, like pillows with flowers, stripes, funny sayings, cats in sunglasses. Every pillow had personality. I'd sit with her while she worked. Sometimes we'd just talk. Sometimes I'd help pin fabric or thread a needle. And one day she was like, "You want to learn how to make one?" And I was like, yes.
And that was it? She just taught you?
Yep. We started sewing together. It became our thing. We'd laugh, tell stories, and stitch these little pieces of art. It didn't feel like work. It felt like connection.
That's so cool. And also, side note, sewing is an underrated skill. You can literally make anything. Pillows, bags, blankets, money.
True, and I didn't even realize I was learning a business skill. I just thought I was making something cute.
All right, moneymakers, quick break. But don't go anywhere because we're about to get into the good stuff. Real quick, if you're loving this episode, do me a favor. Take 2 seconds and share it with a friend who's always talking about making money. Send them the link, post it on your story, whatever. Because the more kids who hear this, the more kids who start building. And if you haven't already, hit that follow button so you don't miss next week's episode. Trust me, the guest we've got coming up is insane. Also, we want to hear your story. If you've started a business or you're thinking about it, or you've got questions, DM us on Instagram at Tallie Talks Podcast. Who knows? Maybe you'll be my next guest. All right, enough from me. Let's get back to the episode. So when did you realize this could be more than a hobby?
One day, I made this pillow with a big sunflower on it, kind of inspired by Mr. Hughes and his garden stories. I brought it to the common room, and like 5 people asked if they could buy one. And I was like, wait, people want to pay me for these?
That's the moment. That's the light bulb. That's when you go from hobbyist to entrepreneur.
Exactly. So I went home and I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need a name. I need a brand. I need to make this real.
And that's when Hello Pellos was born?
Yep. I wanted the name to feel warm, like a greeting, like, hey, I see you. You matter. Every pillow was going to feel like a hug, or at least a really friendly wave.
Okay, I love that. Because the name means something. It's not just cute, it's intentional. And that's what separates a random craft from an actual brand. So let's talk about your process. How do you make these pillows?
So every pillow is inspired by a story. Like, I'll sit with a resident, hear about something they love, a memory, a place, a feeling, and I'll design a pillow around it. Front porches, summer fairs, ocean days, first dances, family dinners. And when I sell a pillow, I include a little card that says exactly where the inspiration came from, like designed with Miss Eleanor or inspired by Mr. Hughes's garden memories.
Okay, that is genius. Because now your customer isn't just buying a pillow. They're buying a story. They're buying connection. That's next level branding.
That's the whole point. I didn't just want to make stuff. I wanted to make stuff that mattered.
And that's the difference between a product and a mission. A lot of kid entrepreneurs, heck, a lot of adult entrepreneurs, forget that. But you nailed it from day one. All right, so let's talk business. How do you actually sell these things? Are you at craft fairs, online, door to door like a little pillow mafia boss?
Mostly word of mouth at first. I sold a bunch at the nursing home, then families started ordering them as gifts. Then I set up a little Etsy shop and started posting on Instagram, just photos of the pillows with the stories behind them.
Smart. So you're using storytelling as your marketing strategy. That's chef's kiss. People don't just want products. They want to feel something.
Exactly. And honestly, the stories sell themselves.
Okay, real talk. What's been the hardest part?
Keeping up with orders, like sewing, takes time. I can't just pump out 50 pillows in a day, so I had to learn how to manage expectations, set realistic timelines, and not burn myself out.
Ooh, that's a big one. Scaling a handmade business is tough. You can't just hire a factory to crank these out, because then they lose the heart. So you're kind of stuck between being a perfectionist and being profitable.
Yeah, exactly, but I'm learning. I'm getting faster, and I'm also learning when to say no.
That's huge. Boundaries are underrated in business. You can't say yes to everything, or you'll burn out and start hating the thing you love. All right, so here's my favorite part of every episode, the lesson. What's the biggest thing you've learned from starting Hello Pellos?
That your business can come from your heart, not just your hands. I didn't start this because I wanted to make money. I started it because I cared, and the money followed. But if I had started with just the money in mind, I don't think it would have worked.
Boom, that's it. That's the tweet. That's the lesson. Write it down, folks. Your business can come from your heart, not just your hands. And honestly, that's the secret sauce. People can feel when you care. And when you care, they care. And when they care, they buy. All right, moneymakers, this is the part you've been waiting for. We just heard an incredible story, right? But here's the thing. That story doesn't help you unless you can actually use it. So right now, my guest and I are going to brainstorm business ideas that you can start. We're talking specific, actionable, I could literally do this tomorrow type ideas. No fluff, no theory, just real businesses you can build. Grab a notebook, open your notes app, whatever. You're going to want to write these down, because by the end of this section, you're going to have at least 3 business ideas you could start this weekend. Let's brainstorm. All right, Haisley. It's time for my favorite part of the show, the brainstorm session. I'm going to throw out 5 business ideas inspired by your story. Ideas that other kids could start if they want to mix kindness, creativity, and profit. Ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, first up, Story Buddies Press. Kids interview residents at nursing homes and turn their life stories into mini booklets, like little 10-page zines with photos, quotes, and memories. Families could buy them as keepsakes. Nursing homes could use them as gifts, and residents get to feel heard.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And you could even add illustrations or make it scrapbook style.
Yes, and here's the kicker. You could charge per booklet or even set up a subscription where families get a new story every quarter. Boom, recurring revenue.
That's so cool. And it's something kids could totally do. You just need a notebook, a phone to record, and some design skills.
Exactly. Low startup cost, high emotional value. That's a winner. Next up, cozy laps and wraps. Kids make soft lap blankets for wheelchairs and comfy chairs. Think cozy, personalized, easy to wash. You could sell them to nursing homes, hospitals, or directly to families.
Oh, that's perfect. Because a lot of residents get cold sitting in common areas. A little blanket makes such a difference.
Right? And you could personalize them with names, favorite colors, or even little embroidered messages. Charge $20 to $30 per blanket. If you sell 10 a month, that's $200 to $300.
And you could make them with fleece. Super easy to sew. No fancy skills needed.
Exactly. This is a beginner-friendly business with a huge feel-good factor. All right, idea number 3. Sunny Day Flower Cart. Kids arrange and deliver simple, cheerful flower jars to residents. Nothing fancy, just fresh flowers in mason jars with a little note. You could do weekly deliveries or special occasion orders.
Oh, I love that. Flowers make everyone happy.
Right? And here's the business model. You buy flowers in bulk from a farmer's market or grocery store. Let's say $20 for a big bunch. You arrange them into 5 jars, sell each jar for $8 to $10, and boom, you just doubled your money.
And you could even grow your own flowers if you have a garden.
Ooh, yes. That's next level. Vertical integration, baby. Grow it, arrange it, sell it. That's a real business. Idea number 4, keepsake cubby. Kids decorate small memory boxes for residents to store special items. Photos, letters, trinkets, whatever. You could personalize them with paint, stickers, decoupage, or even wood burning if you're fancy.
That's such a sweet idea. A lot of residents have little treasures, but nowhere nice to keep them.
Exactly. And you could sell these for $15 to $25 depending on how fancy you make them. You could even offer custom designs based on the residents' interests, like gardening, music, or travel.
And it's something you could batch make, like paint 10 boxes in one afternoon.
Yes, Efficiency is key. You want to work smarter, not harder. Last one, the Friendly Letter Club. Kids and residents become pen pals. Every month, kids send handwritten letters and cards to residents who don't get a lot of mail. Nursing homes could pay a monthly fee per resident, or families could sponsor their loved ones.
Okay, that's my favorite one because getting mail is such a big deal.
Right? And the business model is genius. You could charge $10 to $15 per month per resident. If you have 20 residents signed up, that's $200 to $300 a month just for writing letters.
And kids could do this from anywhere. You don't even need to visit the nursing home.
Exactly. It's scalable, it's meaningful, and it's something parents would absolutely pay for because it teaches their kids empathy. All right, Haisley, those are my 5. Which one's your favorite?
Honestly, Story Buddies Press. I think everyone has a story worth telling, and turning those stories into something tangible, that's powerful.
I love that. And honestly, all 5 of these ideas have one thing in common. They're built on connection. And that's what makes them special. Anyone can sell a product. But if you're selling meaning, that's when you win. All right, future moneymakers, that's a wrap on episode 21. Big thanks to Haisley for sharing her story and for proving that kindness isn't just nice, it's profitable. Remember today's lesson. Your business can come from your heart, not just your hands. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend who needs a little inspiration. And if you have a business idea you want to brainstorm, hit me up on Instagram at Tallie Talks. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and keep building. This is Tallie Pennysworth, and you've been listening to Tallie Talks. Peace out, entrepreneurs.